Good job.
Hey, I'm Jay, and I make videos about traditional Chinese characters in alphabetical order in the Pinyin system. My series on Runner's Garden is called What a Character! Check it out. If you watched my first review video, part 1, with the exception of this one, you can read this whole thing. Wang Bao, Bai Ban Bi. The last video went up to first tone, Bean. And now, today, part 2 in our review of characters that start with A and B in the Pinyin system. First, let's go over the phonetic system, ㄅㄆㄇㄈ, or ㄅㄆㄇㄈ. If you guys know this, just skip on through, but we got Rick back, and let's hear his perfect pronunciation, although he's wearing a mask. This is Rick. You saw him in the bang 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 video where he wrote as many bang 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 as he could. And now he's going to give us the ㄅㄆㄇㄈ from this keyboard. Those are the phonetic symbols which allow you to read Chinese,
Yes.
right? And look up words in dictionaries and text to your friends with a cell phone. So it's a very important phonetic system that they use here in Taiwan.
And second is per,
I wrote out a little ㄅㄆㄇㄈ chart, and what I've done in red here is I added to the phonetic symbol and made it look like a letter that we would recognize. So ㄅㄆㄇ, see the M, F, it's like an F.
the, t, n, the.
Obviously that my method here is not going to work for every one of these phonetic characters, but I think D looks like a dog. So there are the legs and there's the head of the dog. No tail, but you can remember duh. T, I think there's a T embedded in that. T. N, it's an N embedded in that. And L.
G, k, h.
G, so there's two lines here that are like parallel. And I think that serves to emphasize that G is like a hard sound. K, maybe you can think of like a lightning bolt. Kaboom! Hitting the ground or whatever it hits. H, I'm just grasping at straws here, but maybe you can think of like a hut, a very primitive shelter.
G, chi, xi.
Rick says G, but maybe you can just think J, the J sound. He looks like the number 4, chi and she. It's important to differentiate between hard and soft sounds, which will move your tongue. So chi and ch, chi, ch. This one, my tongue is moving back more towards my throat. And the difference between these two, he, sh, he, sh, again, the same thing. The movement of the tongue. It's not a t, that's a sh. And incidentally, in Pinyin, it's X. That's how they make the sound in the romanization system. Confusing, I know, for the first time.
Zh, ch, sh.
Jr, it's almost like JHR. Jr, ch, sh, r is like the R sound, but you're curling your tongue a little bit more. Maybe you can think of a pill inside a box, a red pill.
Z, c, s.
Z, c is different from D here. Z, D, but both kind of sound like a D beginning sound. This sounds like DZ. C is not T, okay? S, this is actually a character in its own right. Radical as well. Are you having fun yet?
Yeah, this was interesting.
What we had gone over previously are initial sounds, mostly consonants. I think they're all consonants. And now we're getting into vowels, and these are mostly final sounds in a syllable. They can also sometimes stand alone. For example, E means one.
E, U, U.
This X is nothing to do with an X that we would think of. It's U And I put the umlaut in German over this to remember to kind of purse your lips a little bit more for ü. This is actually the first sound form that I went over, and it's not y, it's a. O. And this can remind you to round your mouth. I think of them as like fish hooks under the water. Incidentally, in Taiwan, sounds like bait that you would put on a fish hook. And this looks like a fish hook.
I, A.
I sounds like the letter I, as in the self. A. That's what the fonts said. 70s TV show reference.
Ao, O, An, N.
We should differentiate between O and O and and eh. I think the enclosure on the top helps you remember that this is an and this is un, because A is a looped vowel. So there's a closure here. And un is the top of a U is open, and this is open. Maybe that's how you can recall that. An, un.
An,
My tongue is hitting slightly behind my teeth. The back of my tongue is rounded and closer to my throat. It was like a computer voice. Very good.
Okay.
Thank you.
No, you will.
And can you say, what a character?
What a character.
There's one character that we left off last time that is pronounced bing. Bing takes on the meaning of close to or near in a physical or an abstract sense. There's a water radical, a step component, stroke order for bu, fourth tone, meaning step. Can we go a little faster?
Okay, you get the picture.
And a page or leaf component together to make this bean first tone. It's used in a chronological sense of being right on the verge of something happening, usually bad. For a memory aid, maybe we can think of being one step away from a dead leaf floating in the water. 濒死 is on the verge of death. 濒临死亡 means at death's door. Ooh, we got that one out of the way. Bing, bo, and bu. Let's move on to a new sound form. Bing, 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 bing. No second tone today. If you watched part 1, we're going to continue with the car theme. What's up with the car theme? Well, if you have a passion for cars, just by viewing the lines and curves, you can identify them. One conservative list of all the mass-produced models ever totals 6,162. But then if you add all the different body styles within a named model, it's over 280,000. Some aren't around anymore, some are in private collections, and a couple thousand are still on the road. Same thing with Chinese characters. Shoot for between 2,000 and 3,000 to know 95% of text. However, we need to put those characters together, 10 or 15,000 of them, for fluency with terms and expressions. I can almost taste this Porsche. Mocha. So I'll show a picture of all the characters and you just see if you recognize them as review. You might want to have a pen and paper ready so you can practice the characters as I talk about them. Or air draw, and then we'll go over them and check out the cool cars. I grew up near the border of Pennsylvania and New Jersey. John Bon Jovi is from Jersey, and he came to our local dealership and bought this Camaro. Looking at the characters above, try to identify some of the radicals. You can see ice, wood, food, person, and sick. It's kind of interesting. Yo Bing Chang, skating rink, but the middle character, Bing, is for ice. And there's no ice that you're ever going to see here. So I wonder if ice skating predated roller skating. I'll have to look that up. It did by at least 1,000 years. Bing, first tone, has the ice radical with shui, or water is ice. Bingxiang, refrigerator. Bingkuai, ice cubes. Bing Chiling. By the way, I had a lot of fun making the original video because I was in the Pacific Northwest, which has a tsunami warning right now. Hope that turned out okay. This Bing is also first tone. It means armaments, soldiers, weapons. And to me, it looks like a tank with an actual turret on it and some oddly shaped tank tracks. See examples in the description or see my original video. The next one is third tone, Bing. It has the mu radical. And what I find interesting is that normally radicals or components are separate parts put together like a puzzle. But this one, the mu radical, other strokes are superimposed on top of the mu. Check it out. With a horizontal stroke above the mu, it becomes he, or grain. Embedded within is the ji radical, which means snout, animal snout. It looks like a reverse E. 秉烛夜读 is to study by candlelight. 秉烛夜谈 is to speak or talk by candlelight. How romantic. 秉承, to take orders.
Can you take out the trash?
Yes, dear. The meaning is to grasp or take charge of something. The next four I'll put together. These four are very common characters you're going to see all the time. The first two share the Bing component. I think of two hands on top of a table mixing or combining. The first one has the shi, food radical. It's Bing, third tone. It means cookie or cracker. With ren, or the person radical, it becomes Bing, which means to combine, merge, or incorporate. Bing. And for the simplified, you're just getting rid of the ren, or person radical. Look at the sick wrap on that Lexus RX. Unfortunately, in Mandarin, sick does not have a positive connotation to it. For example, 心脏病 is having heart trouble. 生病, sick. This character features the sick radical, and then wan and ne, which means inside. The sick radical is pronounced n, and the bing underneath of it is the third in a 10-day calendar system during the Shang Dynasty. Also a mediocre grade in school. Here is Bing, fourth tone. It means also or equal. You can remember it because it's equal on both sides. To stick with our car theme, Bing Pai Ting Che is to double park. I described it as a top view of cars parked in parking spaces crookedly. If you think Chinese traditional characters and cars are cool, give me a thumbs up and maybe subscribe. Let's have some fun.
Hey, Frisbee football.
Frisbee Golf.
Frisbee golf.
Right over there.
Yeah.
Want to do a couple holes? And then we hike.
Okay. Sounds good.
All right, you got the neon one. All right, so we're practicing. We're starting at hole number 6 because we don't know where hole number 1 is. Don't go that close. This is not how you play. And we're using these mini ones, so they're not gonna like lay in that tray, unfortunately. Let me try. That sucks. You're actually pretty good at this, man.
I've only taken 2 shots.
Your first one went right in. Of course, you're standing right on top of it.
I was standing a meter away. That's it.
Holy, you fooled me. You were saying like, I never play with a small one. And
Lucky start. Stand back. All right.
did you hit the tree? I like this way. I just have to get... That was pretty close.
Did it go in?
No. Aren't you watching?
Well, I can't see. I got these dark sunglasses on.
Okay, go ahead.
Okay, that time I overthrew it.
All right. Pause the video and test yourself. See if you recognize any of these. Using radicals as hints. The water radical to the left and P, or the skin radical, become bo, or wave. Not only water waves, sound waves, brain waves, etc. but water skin is a good way to remember it. Wave. With wang, the king radical, it's the meaningless bound form used in glass. 玻璃. A way to remember it might be the king's skin is protected by bulletproof glass. Speaking of glass, these combis came up with up to 23 glass windows wrapping around. This picture was taken by my friends Joy and Mike, who are out west on vacation in the United States with their family. Shout out to them. Left to right, 剥, peel, skin, shell. I see two interlocking hands, perhaps peeling fruit, and then a nail driving down into fruit that you can't see, but you can see the juice splattering. On the right are two lines going up and down. Those make up the inverted knife radical. And think of them as like slashes from a knife. You need hands and often a knife to peel or skin something. And next to it, this 剥 is to move things around with your hand, like dial. It's very commonly used, and you can see it on the phone. 重拨 is to dial again. You have the hand radical on the left, and fa as a character on the right, component, meaning to send out. Further broken down into 拨, gong, and shu. 拨 legs, gong is bow, and shu is a type of Chinese ancient weapon. It's right there on phones. Pause the reel, take a look at these, look for commonalities in terms of components and radicals. We'll do a description in a second. The first one on the left used to be an earl or count in the feudal system in ancient China. Now it's used for uncle on your father's side. Elder uncles, 伯伯. It's the person radical on the left and bai, white, on the right. If you switch out the person or ren radical for shui, water radical, you get the character used for a lake, also sometimes to stop. 湖泊 is lake. All of these are second tone, by the way. If you have the mu or tree radical to the left, 泊 is cypress, a kind of tree, but also used in asphalt. 柏油路. The next two share a common component, 被, comet, as a noun, but as a literary adjective it means thriving, and it retains that meaning, adding the li or power radical to the right. 勃然大怒, to show displeasure all of a sudden. For the one on your extreme right, we add the 肉 or meat radical, and we get 脖子的脖, neck. The simplified is indexed as the 月 or month, moon radical to the left instead of 肉 or meat. So I think traditional makes a lot more sense because our necks are flesh. Note the 字, which is commonly affixed to nouns, as in 脖子, neck. This character set contains 夫, meaning to announce. Can you see it? And four radicals make that up. We have a dot, then 10, then use, and then inch, the meanings of the radicals. 主, 时, 用, 寸, respectively, top to bottom. So, the character on your left with the 10 or 10 radical on the left is 博, as in 博士 or PhD, also used in 赌博, to gamble. The middle character is also 博. In a literary sense, it means to wrestle, combat, or strike, especially with the hand, thus the hand radical. Example, 搏斗, battle, wrestle, fight. On your right, it can be pronounced 薄, second tone, or 薄, fourth tone, depending upon the meaning. 薄 means to cut thin. It's used in, for example, 薄弱, which means weak, in terms of evidence or ideas. Fourth tone, 薄荷, is peppermint. Do you like peppermint? This one features a grass radical, and on the left side, the water radical. 17 strokes. Start with grass, then water, then the component. 薄, as in 萝卜 or daikon, has the grass radical, or 草. And then 浮, which means to crawl. 浮 can be broken down into 包, 一, 口, and 天, or wrap, one, mouth, and field, respectively. This second tone bo can also have no tone sometimes. For example, lo bo gao, you wouldn't say lo bo gao. Lo bo gao is radish cake. The simplified form is what here in Taiwan we would say as bu, the divination character. So if you saw this in China, you'd have to just use context to know which one. Bu or bo, as in honglou carrot. Or second tone bo, this one means to refute. Bo hui, turn down a petition or request. Fan bo is to retort or refute in argument. You can see the horse radical to the left. I think of it as an ornery horse because there's two X's on the side. They look like X's that are negating, and when you're negating something, you are refuting it. This can also be seen in bochuan, barge, ship or boat for large cargo. Crafty mainlanders cut the strokes in half at 7. Another one that you can see on your telephone, bo, broadcast. And this can also be sow, as in sow seeds. In the case of broadcast, you would hold a microphone in your hand, and for sowing seeds, you might scatter seeds with your hand, thus the hand radical. This component is bian, to distinguish. In the case of broadcast, I see this as a speaker, but it is the field radical, with sound or seeds going off in all directions. Example, guanbo, broadcast. Let's do some more Frisbee golf.
Should we go to the next hole?
Let's go to the next hole. We can get closer. There's one way over there. You guys see it? If you overshoot, you're gonna hit a car. And we got trees. That was like the tee off shot. That was our drive. These small ones are not as fun. I gotta get bigger ones. 2 peas in a pod. Not exactly. That was my second shot. So you're shooting for 4. Oh! Go ahead.
Miss this one, right?
Was that in?
Yeah.
This list of characters will self-destruct in about 10 seconds. So look for common character components and pause right here. See what you recognize, and we will go over them. Third tone bu, as in to divine, by use of the 8 trigrams, ba gua, found in the Book of Changes. Saw this in an old house.
Shit happens, I Ching, whatever, man. We gotta roll with it.
I Ching, what are you talking about, man? I Ching.
Bu, third tone, to tell fortunes. It can also be a surname. Pretty easy name to write. The next 3 all share the same component, fu, one's honored name. So practice writing that a little bit first from top to bottom. With the hand radical, bu becomes catch or seize. So in this case, the fu component kind of looks like a net or a cage. With the mouth radical that looks like a square or rectangle, bu is to feed. Bu dong wu means mammal, an animal that takes milk. Reminder, see my original bu 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 video above. The one on the right is with the clothing radical, as in bu shi ban or cram school. Bu means to mend or make up for something. That clothing radical to the left looks like a woman. There's a head and then a big dress, and she has a bow around her waistline. A side view. I'm assuming you already recognize the character for no, 4 strokes on the left, and then step we've gone over earlier. All of these are 4th tone bu. The third one is cloth, also used in the transliteration of buding, pudding. And if we add the ren, or person radical, we get the character for announce. Also used to express to spread out or arrange. 布置 is to decorate, and 布告, a bulletin. 布告栏 is a bulletin board. It's indexed under the ren or person radical. In simplified, you drop the person radical, and the index component would be jean or cloth. And again, in simplified, you'd have to rely on context to understand the meaning. With the heart radical to the left, Still fourth tone bu, to fear or be afraid of. For example, 恐怖, horror. 恐怖电影, horror movie. We're close to the finish line now, guys. If you put a li over a ko or mouth next to yi, area, we have section or part or ministry. 一个部分 is one part of something. 教务部 is the Ministry of Education. And finally, 竹, the bamboo radicals over pu, which means vast, becomes bu, as in 电话簿, a phone book, or a 簿子 that you would use as your bank account book. Without the top and side radicals, you may recognize fu to announce.
Real golf, the one who's further away will go before the one that's closer.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah. This is your second shot, but we didn't start from where we were supposed to start.
Ah,
Well, you're closer.
yeah.
Oh!
Yeah, you beat me. Got me by one stroke.
There you go. Oh, a hole in one between two cars. Of course, we're playing like the kids' tees. We should have been playing from way back at our last hole.
Oh, yeah.
What hole is this?
Be too many cars and
It's all rusted off. Can't even tell. Oh, if it went through, I got it then. I'm under the car. I hope it rolled out. This is why I brought two. At the worst possible position. Good job.
Are you having fun yet?
Yeah, this was interesting.